The legislative session wrapping up in Indianapolis. I spoke today with Governor Mike Braun. He stopped by the studios here in Fort Wayne. The legislative session just wrapped up. Your second as governor. Heard you grading yourself a B+. Talk a little bit about that grade, how you defend that grade, and how it could have been a little bit better, because I know even though 51 out of 58 bills passed, there's still a few in there that have to be things that you're still passionate about.
So for us, from the administrative, the executive side of government, there are two kinds of bills. Agenda bills, going to be more thematic, education, public safety, infrastructure, lots of different things that we spend a lot of money on. Healthcare is probably the most vexing. We focused on that a lot in the first session, property taxes as well. So here, the agenda bills, we got 19 out of 23 across the finish line. And we got on the agency bills, which are more particular, maybe a little more narrow in scope, 32 out of 35. And that doesn't count, those are most of the ones that we were even in consideration with. You got to remember, there were 500 bills out there, give or take, and they get called down. All of ours stayed in. That's a percentage you'd have to look at is much different from the number of bills that were put out there in total, because an agenda bill or an agency bill, getting that higher percentage across is going to be probably better than any governor's been able to do. But it's a team. The one I had in D.C., we were the best legislative shop as a freshman Senate office, all three Congresses, 2 years for each Congress, on common sense stuff. We knew how to do it. So you're working with the legislators. You're making your case. A lot of times it wiggles this way and goes the other way. And we were pleased with what we got done.
Told me he made his case to add a referendum to a casino bill directly impacting our area. Take a listen. Healthy discussions are being had right now about a big issue that's coming here, like it or not, most likely is a casino.
Yep.
And I think people who either hate it or love it, they're both happy that they get to have a referendum, because ultimately they'll decide as a majority if it comes to one of these three counties. So,
as a governor, I'm one of the weakest constitutionally, because a simple majority can override your veto. That would have been the first one, and by the way, that get put back into the bill because of the governor's office. That would have been, I said, I'm going to veto that if that's not there, because you're going to have local pros and cons, and you're now at least going to do it through that mechanism. The other issue of where it should go and how it should be done, we weighed in on that, to where you're going to have, if the referendum says go, a lot of different proposals to come in and do it instead of one company. And I think the other issue would have been, where's it going to go? And there was a strong contingent that wanted it to go in Indy. I think that would have had a ripple effect across so many other casinos, and this was the only place that didn't have it. Now it's up to your own local input. Probably the ideal way to take care of it.